We are going to call the meeting of the zoning board of appeals for June 4th, 2025 to order. We have one petition for a use variance on the agenda today, and it will take 4 votes. We have 4 members present here in order to get the variance request approved. A couple of housekeeping items. We don't have audience members except for the petitioner, but we do allow for public comment. We also have to read into the record any correspondence that we receive. At this point, we will ask to have the petitioner come forward. I will ask the clerk to read the official request, and then we'll take questions and answers from the board. And before you speak, you have to state your name and home address, so just when you're ready, okay? So we're going to ask the clerk to read first the petition.
The petition of Mark Saxton of 313 Steel Street, Jamestown, New York, for use variance to construct a 40-foot by 100-foot pole barn to be used for additional storage of 10 rental equipment and awnings equipped with utilities on parcel 387.06-2-55, located at 924 Clinton Street and owned by Mark Saxton in an R2 zone. Section 300-0306, R2 two-family residential. Storage buildings are not permitted in the R2 district. The first permitted district is the CM Service and Highway Commercial Zone.
Thank you. And at this point, we'll ask you to state your name, home address, and then we'll ask questions. You can tell us a little bit more about the petition.
Okay, my name is Mark Saxton. My address is 545 Orchard Road, Jamestown, New York.
Okay. And do you want to tell us, again, a little bit more detail about the reason for this, since it's split from the business address?
Okay, well, I acquired this company in the year 2000, and as part of the acquisition was this address on Clinton Street, which was at that point a storage facility for Kurt Wallen, who owned Jamestown Mining. Prior to that, I think Don Zioli might have owned it for a recycling building, the original 40 by 100 that's there. And we've considered different avenues. We have a 2-story building, which was our original Jamestown Mining building at 289 Steel Street, which we outgrew. And we purchased, I don't know the name, I can't remember now, but Sanitary Wiping Cloth was the first company that I remember that we purchased at 313 Steel for additional space, because they were struggling and wanted to get out of Jamestown. So now we've outgrown that building, and we've looked at other ways to handle the situation, but the 2-story building that we started in just isn't feasible for storage. We used to sew upstairs and carry everything up and down the stairs and the same thing. So it's been a great thing that we moved next door. Currently, we've listed the 289 original building to try to sell it so that some other business can get in there and maybe do something. It'd be perfect for like a small car lot or something with a 2-bay garage that you could do maintenance on vehicles and that. So we're hoping to sell that. And in fact, if we don't sell that, we're probably not even going to be able to proceed with the other building down on Clinton Street that we're talking about today. But so the reason is we just outgrown everything, and so honestly, I didn't know that it was zoned residential. I don't know how that changes or what have you, if you're notified when your property changes zoning. If I just missed something that came to us or what have you, but so I thought it'd be like a quote unquote no-brainer, because around me are all these businesses, and then there's a electrical plant on the corner now, and that was put in there. That's certainly not residential, but obviously it was neat. But there's nothing on that block that I can remember, that was ever a residence. I mean, it wasn't there, but I remember when I was 4 years old, we used to go down there and pick pussy willows, because all my relatives lived on Lafayette, 1 street behind, and I don't remember any residences there. It's like fields and that kind of thing, so I don't know. But I didn't know that it became a residential until I met Larry, and he explained that. So this is why we're here today, is to see if we can put up an additional building similar to the one that we have down there, to help us out, because we're going to be able to run our business efficiently, and we continue to invest in the city this way, and we're hoping that you can help us out here.
Okay. Are there questions from members of the board?
I just had one question.
Yes.
Just on
Well, yeah, it'd be concrete, we first would have to, scrape the sod, you know, a lot of mud, that kind of thing there, tree growth, and then fill it, and we've got to get up the flood zone, as, you know, as we were told there, and, we want to be, because the building that we currently have there is flooded, you know, so we want to be a couple feet higher, or whatever it takes, you know, to do it and do it right, so there'd be a lot of, gravel. Actually, Jim Marucci is someone that we've been talking about, you know, to do that work, for us to build the base. And then there'd be 5 inches of concrete as the floor of the pole barn.
You're gonna consider any kind of fencing around the building?
Actually, we want to, yeah, as, I don't know, heard, but we've been robbed numerous times down there. We've been robbed Steel Street, we continue to get robbed. So yeah, we're talking about maybe connecting the buildings with fencing, try to alleviate that. And we also have alarmed Clinton Street now, and we would be alarming the new building as well. Yes.
Other questions? I guess I do need some clarification from Larry. I mean, was this area just retro because there are rental industrial commercial home buildings there?
I'm not sure. I started in '99 and it was already in place and the zoning was in place. Best of my knowledge, it has always been more commercial line. There were several junkyards down there over the years. In that back part, I don't think there were any residences, so. I think the vision was that hopefully someday they might be able to do something with it and tie it into the outlet, but who knows when that could possibly happen.
And I was wondering, and this is for Larry, not necessarily for the petitioner, I mean, is this an area that could be zoned a little bit more freely? I know we talked about, you know, having some mixed zoning, because there are some older homes on one side of it. I don't that and all that, but there's really not right here in this little section, there's not houses.
We're in the process of doing a comprehensive plan and zoning update, so suggestions to the committee putting that together, I believe you're on there as
I
well.
am.
You can bring it forward in one of our meetings and see what we can do. I'm sure there's
Okay.
the use that both entities can peacefully coexist with.
Because the question is, use variances are very difficult to grant because they go with the property forever. But if the zoning is going to change and be more flexible in that area, it would make sense because you would then have your building and you wouldn't have any concerns about having to carry through what we call a use variance forever. How about the value? I mean, you know, when you talk about building a new building, Mark, what are you looking at in terms of an investment here?
Well, with everything, you know, electricity, you know, like plumbing, what have you, to the neighborhood of $200,000.
And traffic-wise, if it's going to be, I think you said mostly a storage building, is it, I mean, there'd be heavy traffic spring and fall as you're moving things out and in?
There would, honestly, wouldn't be ever heavy traffic. We might go up and down the road, 4 times a day, something like that, you know, and we don't have big machinery or anything like that. They're all pickup trucks,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just box trailers, anything. That's pretty much it, you know, pickup trucks and box trailers.
And the types of storage would be awnings and other types of equipment?
Awnings and tents themselves, as well as like center poles, side poles for tents, aluminum framework for tents. That's really it. And maybe some light equipment they can put up tents with.
You're not planning on putting vehicles in here, are you?
No,
Okay.
no.
Other questions?
Just an observation, looking at the zoning, I'm not actually, I am actually looking at the zoning now. The way they zone is usually to try for large swaths,
Mhm.
is to avoid micro zoning. So this industrial area next to a park with some housing, it probably got swept into a larger area when this was drawn up. And that's why it didn't get they may try to be more adaptable, but
Mhm.
this industrial area in an R2 may not get wholly reclassified just because they don't want to reclassify
True.
the whole perimeter of the park.
Mhm. Although there are other, whatever we call older commercial structures in that area,
Yes, there are some that are quite old.
some that need to be taken down. Land for sale also, so, you know, or they gonna put a house where that land is for sale, right on that.
In theory, they could, in reality, somebody else would decide that.
That would be us. Okay, so I think at this point, we would need, you know, just clarification for you that you understand a use variance is not the normal process. This would be an exception because use variances are difficult to approve. You have a good case that you need storage space. You've had this property for a long time as part of your business structure. I think the fact that the zoning was done prior and yet there were, that it was considered business property even when you took over the business, right?
As far as I
In the
know.
eighties. It's confusing at best.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing none, we'd be looking for a motion to approve the use variance request for the property located not on Steel Street, but on Clinton Street, as part of the Jamestown awning business.
And I would just state for the record, we did not receive any correspondence.
Awesome.
That's not that.
No correspondence, thank you.
Just wanted to put it up.
Is there someone willing to make the motion?
I would make that motion based on the, as Chairman Tom has already addressed much of the criteria for a use variance, I believe that it has been met, so I would move to approve the variance.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Is there a second for that motion? Move second, thank you, Mr. Moraglia. Any questions on the motion? Again, the use variance is pretty clear. You have to meet all of the criteria. As it's been stated, I think all the criteria have been met. Seeing no other questions, we'll call the roll, please.
Mrs. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Moraglia?
Yes.
Mr. Thomas?
Yes.
And Chairwoman Catani?
Yes. Okay, you'll need to work with Larry Scalise and the department to make sure you have everything in order in terms of paperwork. The use variance, again, will go with the property unless there's some change in the zoning that occurs in that area. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all.
We'll close the meeting. We have no other agenda items.
Enjoy the rest of the sunny day.
Yeah, thank you.